Okay guys, Mikey here, also known as Construction 25 Garage. I'm gonna show you what difference I'm gonna get for my MS310. I am gonna have to get an OEM fuel line from my local dealership in my right beside close to me right by my town, and I did try out that short fuel line yesterday, but unfortunately, that line only goes to a stihl MS250, which is it's a little bit small, but that fuel line on the saw was not down at the bottom of the fuel tank, and it was running fine yesterday until it's definitely out of gas and it's hard to start and will not restart. And I'll show you the tune-up kit and the carburetor. This is what top fuel lines look like on an MS310. But somehow these are a little bit small. I don't know if I was doing something wrong that was causing it to do that, or I hadn't lined it up properly, or it might be I just maybe messed something up because it kinked, but it doesn't have the stickiness on it because the fuel line was a clone fuel line that was made in China, and I'm gonna have to get an OEM fuel line for the saw. But there's nothing wrong with the intake line. Only thing it needs is a replacement fuel line and fuel filter. I did drain the gas out of it yesterday, and I'm gonna have to get a new one of these. It's a buffer. The buffer was missing into the saw in the back of the carburetor, so I am gonna have to buy a new one. A new buffer for that saw. I don't know if Stihl dealership continues to sell them parts for these MS310s. If you do know they do sell them for them parts for the MS310, let me know in the comments. And my Uncle Lonnie bought it brand new back in the year in 1998. I think it was the 1997 model, when home lights are getting ready to be ran out of business on their last run. So I think he bought it in 1995. There's the original carrying case, which I don't have that case for it, but I don't occasionally use carrying cases. But I don't need to. And I don't definitely use shields, but I only use them for in case if they fall from my shelf. That's what I use them for. And JT is going to get his Homelight 701 chainsaw running, which is a 77cc. Go check it out. And I will eventually have a repair video of the MS310 running when I get a new fuel line for it from my local dealer, and a buffer for the back of the carburetor. I'm still going to use the Chinese parts, the air filter, and the fuel filter and the air filter for that thing, cause now I got two air filters and fuel filters for it. I got plenty others I can use it on. But it don't even need a new carburetor, but I still had it, but I'm just gonna use it as a parts carburetor to keep the other carburetor alive just in case. Because I could definitely take the parts off a clone carburetor, try to rebuild the old OEM carburetors. I did try it before, it did work. I did on the other ones, but it did work. But unfortunately, it did work. But it's definitely worth, if you want to buy a new carburetor for your saws, it's worth to buy new carburetors instead of trying to rebuild them. You always have to make sure you get an OEM carburetor. Clone carburetors and clone fuel lines do not last long. But this is what the buffer looks like on the MS310's carburetor. When I did took it off, it went missing, but I couldn't even find it. But I don't want to get any more type of expensive parts for my MS310. I was actually planning to add another Felon spike to it. But unfortunately, I kind of like it like that without one. So there's no need for me to buy another Felon spike for it. If I can definitely clean this whole thing up without pressure washing this thing, it will look like brand new again. But it's been so old, and it was older than I am. I think it was about 28 or 29 years old. So that thing's a bit more older than I am. I'm 23 years old. So the plan is, Saturday, I'm going to go to my local stihl dealer and get a new type of OEM fuel line. And this, if they still sell one of these things for them, I might be able to get it. And I did put a new fuel cap on it, but it did work, but it's not leaking anymore. Like I told you on the other videos in the past, from last weekend or 2 weeks ago, I think. And spring's already here, but I'm gonna have to tend to get a new battery for the John Deere lawn tractor. And one of these days I might be able to do some repair videos on the push mowers. And I might have to get some carb spray for that yard machines. And if that does work to keep it running good, I might be able to use it again. But if that intake line was unplugged, then that's probably the reason why that mower won't run. It won't run longer. That's probably why that thing was unplugged. Is that intake line. That's probably what the problem is. Well, here's the video update. Last video update on my stihl MS310. But mine was dirty, but this is how this one was clean when it was looked like new back in the day. I want to make mine that look like brand new, just like that on the picture. Well, anyways, I'll see you on next video tomorrow on my Home Like Big Red and my stihl MS291 Farm Boss. Anyways, if y'all think the stihl dealers still continue to sell buffer for the carburetor for the MS310. And these, let me know in the comments. Anyways, I'll catch y'all next one. Bye.